So today I'm talking about a bad torque converter versus a bad transmission and how you go about telling which has failed if you're having an issue with your vehicle. And I'm going to put links down below for everything I'm looking at here. But the first thing is, what is the torque converter? Well, basically the torque converter uses high pressure fluid to engage the transmission. Since if there was some kind of material like metal to metal or something like that that made contact directly, then that would wear out very quickly. So the torque converter has many components, but it basically has two sides that are separated by fluid, and then high pressure fluid drives the other side. So basically that takes the engine power and sends it to the transmission. That's a real simplistic look at it, but that's basically what it does. And so what are some symptoms of a failing torque converter? Well, it could be overheating. The common problem is that when you're stopped and then you take off, the vehicle kind of shudders a little bit, or there's a little bit of slipping going on. That's a common problem. You might also get a vibration, especially at lower speeds. And sometimes you could hear like a whirring noise or something like that. And then when the transmission goes to shift, sometimes it kicks really hard or something along these lines. That would be the torque converter. And how would a vehicle respond when the torque converter fails? Well, sometimes the engine will stall when you come to a stop. And sometimes the engine will give a kick when you're shifting gears. So you're shifting, and if it kicks really hard when you go to shift to the next gear, then that can be a symptom. The stall speed at a high RPM. So basically the RPMs have to go higher before it shifts. So if the transmission is usually shifting around 2000 RPM, but now all of a sudden you have to rev up the engine higher to a higher RPM to make it shift, then that could be a problem. Sometimes there's a burning smell. Quite often if you go check the fluid, it's going to be very black and dirty. It will be a symptom of a failed torque converter. Sometimes things could get out of balance with the torque converter, so it could cause a vibration, especially when you're stopped. And so next up is going to be the transmission. And so what is the automatic transmission? Well, it's basically just a set of gears, solenoids, and levers that step up as the vehicle increases speed. This is very simplistic because the transmission is very complex, but it basically just steps up gears as the vehicle speeds up, much the way a bicycle would when it has gears and you keep stepping up. Of course, again, that's a very simplistic view, but that's basically what it does. And so what are some symptoms of a failing transmission? Well, there could be metal in the fluid, since one of those gears might be grinding with another gear or something like that. There could be a shift delay. Another common thing is that one of the gears doesn't work anymore. So like second gear, when you go to do it, it just doesn't work anymore. Or even like first gear, something along these lines. And when a transmission fails completely, the vehicle just won't move. So if something really broke inside of there or something like that, you go to put in a gear, you won't be able to drive anywhere. And so that's basically it. I just wanted to go over quickly the symptoms of a bad torque converter and the symptoms of a bad transmission, so to help give you an idea of which component has failed. This can be very difficult to diagnose because sometimes they could be related, since these two components do work together. And so that's basically it. I just wanted to give a real quick brief overview of a bad torque converter versus a bad transmission. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.